Hello. Welcome back to the GamerDad podcast. We are going to have a bit of a shorter episode for you today due to circumstances that we cannot control. But it's still going to be a good one. So, as far as topics today, we are talking about Tears of the Kingdom's release, talking about Overwatch 2, and Mortal Kombat 1, which just happened today as recording.
Yeah, this morning.
What was the other difficulty in gaming? So we're going to save our big one for the end, which is difficulty in gaming. But we're going to go over the small ones first. And as always, I'm your host, ShloobGoob, with my co-host,
AltimateAngelo. I forgot it.
I could cut the audio. You didn't have to speak then.
AltimateAngelo here, guys.
Oh my goodness.
We're back. We're back.
So let's start with the big one, the one that happened today that I think I wasn't even prepared for a trailer, were you?
Well, sorta. So, I believe it was around 7, 8-ish at night. Ed Boon put on Twitter that, something big for Mortal Kombat is happening tomorrow morning, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And everybody kind of knew because he's been, tickling the balls.
I've seen posts, but there was, rumors that it was an Injustice or, a whole new IP.
Yeah.
So I didn't know exactly what he was doing, but Mortal Kombat 1, 12, and it's a complete reboot of the series.
Yes.
And the fact that the timeline where Kung Lao reset time and has set this new era.
Yeah.
So
Liu Kang's now taking the role of God.
Liu Kang.
And instead it looks like Raiden's gonna be a human this time around and all this
Kung
stuff.
Lao is gonna be the original Kung Lao.
Yeah, original Kung Lao. Looks like he's gonna take over kind of the spotlight character, most likely for story mode.
And then they also showed Millennia.
Oh my God!
Not Millennia. Blade of
Elden Ring
guest character.
No. You know how many fatalities people would do on Millennia?
Oh my God, Millennia would be OP.
Millennia would
destroy
Melina.
Yeah,
is
Melina.
the word I was trying to say.
Katana.
They've showed Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Shang Tsung.
It was Shang Tsung, the dude, the guy killing everybody in the trailer?
Yeah, it was him going around killing everyone.
Okay. And then that dragon thing that Liu Kang does.
Yeah, he's
like
the fire and
chosen
ice
war.
dragon. I was like, holy shit.
Let's go.
Yeah. No, so even though I'm disappointed a little bit by what was shown because, after all this teasing for a long amount of time, we just got basically another teaser.
Yeah.
And it's not like a teaser to where the Mortal Kombat X one was, where they shown gameplay elements with the fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero in the forest. Even if that was a cinematic trailer, they still showed hey, you're gonna be able to do interactables. There's gonna be crushing blows or X-rays and all this other type of stuff.
When it comes to story modes and fighting games, I feel like NetherRealm's team does it probably the best in terms of cinematic cutscenes for fighting games.
Yeah.
Because when I think of a fighting game with a story, a lot of them are just character image with walls of text and then a fight screen.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat and Injustice, anything NetherRealm's really put out has really had the whole cinematic transition between cutscene to fight.
Yeah. Pretty
well, and I feel like they kind of nailed that kind of thing down. So the cinematic trailer doesn't bother me as much.
Almost.
So
it still fights. It's still with their stories, story mode still kind of falls into the fighting game curse that is. Yeah. This fight between this character and this character would not have been a thing had somebody just waited a second to listen.
Yeah.
That whole scenario thing. Yeah. They get a little bit better with that because that happened a ton in MKX's and in MK12's.
Yeah, fucking Kung Jin with Kotal Khan. He's just fuck this, we're gonna.
Yeah, and it's just no, if you're gonna have a fight, do a little bit better to tie it in. Just a tad. But hell, this is a game that we're talking about where you can hit somebody, half their spine flies out of their body, and then they get up like it's another Tuesday. It's true. It varies, but no, they do get their story modes pretty right.
At least in better than most fighting games.
Better than most.
Most fighting games are literally just here's one character still, here's wall of text, here's a different character still, wall of text.
Well, I think that's mainly also down to the fact that NetherRealm Studios being part of WB.
That's true.
They got budget.
Hella
they
bread.
got They got money to throw into this bitch, you know what I mean?
As a Sethicals would say, hell of bread.
Hell of bread. Yeah, no, they got mad money to throw into this stuff, so they can push out almost like a AAA type story mode in their fighting games.
I mean,
but more companies I see now are like doing it in their own way.
Yeah,
they're making it around.
Street Fighter one.
Street Fighter definitely. Thank God Capcom learned their lesson from Street Fighter 5's release when it was just literally a bare bones skeleton of a game.
Yeah.
And now they're releasing Street Fighter 6 actually with more emphasis on single player content. Yeah. Which is mostly going to bring in their casuals, which is going to bring in the money. Yeah. So that's a smart move on their end.
Like we said, what was it, 2 podcasts ago? Like, fighting game fans are eating.
Yeah.
Like, they are eating this.
Eating heavy.
Year. Holy shit.
Eating hefty. And then I guess another new system on Mortal Kombat 1 that they have kind of delved into a little bit is that they are going to have what they call
like X-rays or whatever they were?
No, it's not X-rays. It's pretty much going to be cameo fighters is what they're calling them. And that whole mechanic delves into kind of like a Marvel vs. Capcom original on the PlayStation 1, if you will. Okay. Where you will have your character, your main fighter, and you can choose a fighter that might not even be like a fighter on the roster to come in the match and assist you and do an assist move and stuff like that.
So they're bringing assists in Mortal Kombat, but in a format that's like Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah. It's not a playable character all the time. Like, it can be a playable character, but you can also choose characters.
Choose characters that are not playable.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. I feel like it's gonna rub a couple of fans the wrong way though, because I feel like Mortal Kombat is also one of the series that have like the strongest fans.
Oh yeah, I mean,
in terms of characters.
When it comes to character rosters, I mean, there are very few characters in Mortal Kombat that get skipped on a roster. Mm-hmm. Very few mainstays. Like, I mean, they're always gonna have, Scorpion, Sub-Zero. I mean, if Raiden's immortal, is he gonna have his lightning powers? Mm-hmm. Like, there's so many questions about this new generation that it's gonna be kind of weird to see how things shake out for long-term fans.
Yeah. I really hope, though, with the game mechanics that what I would like to see from Mortal Kombat 1 is a backstep in mechanics just a little bit. Yeah. Like, Mortal Kombat 11 was heavy on mechanics and stuff like that. And in the end, it still became kind of a strike-throw game. Yeah. Where, it was still very footsies based. They got rid of the run that was in Mortal Kombat X, which everybody loved. I don't know why they got rid of that. Yeah. I guess to try to slow down the pace of the game.
Probably.
But I feel like the perfect world of Mortal Kombat, especially with this reboot, would be to kind of dial back the bare bones abilities that everybody have. Yeah. But focus on mobility. Okay. I feel like mobility would be much better in the series if the mechanics themselves isn't super, super deep and varied. Gotcha. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I have a lot. All of the games of this generation, all the fighting games coming out. I have high expectations of all of them. I hope I get to play. Yeah. All of them. I think I'm excited for what they've got coming out. Like I said, they've always got the cinematic single player stuff down. Yeah. But unfortunately, unlike a different developer who does not have their single player experiences down. Uh-oh. Fucking Overwatch 2. So Overwatch 2 announced, was it yesterday or the day before that?
I think it might have been the day before.
They announced the fact that the PvE, the whole reason to make Overwatch 2 a sequel game, is being scrapped entirely.
That was nuts to me. Because,
apparently they're going to have elements of the PvE stuff, but, they're going to, all the level, the campaign mission selection and all that, that's wiped. So they're going to have PvE stuff, but it's probably just going to be what they've always been doing, events. Yeah. Which is fucking bullshit, because what's the point of having a PvE thing being an event? Because it's just going to disappear. That's the biggest issue I have with it. It's just going to disappear. Yeah. And that was the whole point of Overwatch 2 even being the sequel, Overwatch 2, because we were going to get a whole new mode. And even worse is, I think there's rumors they're going to bring back 2-point control. So, it's frustrating because, I play Overwatch 2 sometimes.
Yeah, I've dropped it.
I've dropped it very hard, though.
Kristen did play Overwatch and played Overwatch 2.
Yeah, I played Overwatch 1 until when it came out. I mean, I made it to, I think I made it to Masters on Xbox. But that was because me and my buddies were playing it every day. Yeah. That's all we touched. And then I dropped Overwatch 1, I think it was Season 7, Season 8. I dropped it completely.
Gotcha.
And then I picked up Overwatch 2 with my friends because they wanted to play Overwatch 2 and we've been playing that. And then we've all dropped it pretty hard because it's just become the same as it always is. It's improper balancing, improper, character design. They're reworking characters that don't need to be reworked. They're changing things that don't need to be changed. They're taking and doing, and it's such a fucking clusterfuck of bullshit.
It is, and like I said, I haven't been delving too deep into Overwatch 2, but the PvE was one of the things that I was like, oh, that's gonna be good. Everybody wants that.
Yeah, co-op is always fun.
And then for them, I think about 4 years down the line to scrap it,
just completely,
and it makes me wonder what exactly happened, because for so long they've been talking about it.
Yeah.
Did they work on it, get to a point where they had block and was just like, nah, this ain't good, we're just gonna scrap it? Or did they never even work on it, say this was coming to keep people in and coming in, and just was like,
there's only
we're not gonna...
There's only so much we could speculate, right?
Yeah.
Because there was the whole drama with Blizzard, what, was that 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, about 2 years ago.
So who knows how much that impacted it, you know what I mean? Because there's no telling how much of that situation impacted the dev team for the game.
Yeah.
So they could have just lost everybody who was working on it. We can't salvage what we've got,
Yeah, possibly.
But regardless, it's worse than a delay. Canceling it outright is just not good.
No, it's pretty bad.
They should have waited until they had the PvE figured out to make Overwatch 2 Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
They could have just made Overwatch 1 the new system, like, hey, we're doing this system for now, it's free to play now, and then Overwatch 2 will officially release for the campaign, blah, 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 blah. But they didn't do that because they wanted the quick monies.
Yeah, I was figuring that they wanted the cash of the name Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 1, while still running semi-strong and had a faithful community, it was also running its course. Everybody was waiting for something new. And so they wanted to get that something new out, even if it was something incomplete.
Yeah.
And, we've said it time and time again on the podcast, incomplete is just going to do nothing but come back and bite you in the ass.
Yeah, even waiting for things to get better, at this point, people have been waiting for Overwatch to get better, and it's just not.
Yeah.
Like I said, I played from day one. Day one, I midnight released that shit, okay? It was great.
He said he was in line.
I played the beta.
At the GameStop.
I played beta. I was in GameStop line, picked up my day one copy, brought it home. I played Overwatch every day.
Had to break a kid's teeth for it.
Probably. I don't remember. But, I remember when the big nerfs were starting to happen. You had Overwatch, you had Roadhog's hook. Mm-hmm. Roadhog has an ability where he throws a hook and grabs a character and brings him to him. Yeah. So people were complaining that it's too OP. Because he can reach around walls, he can do all this crazy stuff. People were complaining that it's OP. But the thing that made Roadhog he was a big tank that took up a lot of space, and he was to make picks. He picked out squishies, characters that had low health, that were very mobile, that other characters couldn't pick out. Mm-hmm. And here's the issue that I find a lot of the time with Overwatch balancing. It seems like half of it's catered towards pro players, half of it's catered towards casuals.
Gotcha.
And they never pick one to work with that update. They just do both. Yeah. So some characters that are really good against casuals either get mega nerfed or mega buffed, and then characters that are good and competitive get mega nerfed or mega buffed.
Yeah. I feel like that confusion on what to do probably kind of came with the explosion of esports when Overwatch joined in, and it's you have this thing, but they also didn't want to leave casuals behind. Right. But they also wanted to please their esports crowd because that's where the money was coming from. All this other type of stuff.
I think the best way to approach, especially with first-person shooter games, the best way to approach competitive playlists or competitive modes is to have separate designs. And it's possible. Call of Duty, when you play Call of Duty competitive, this is the only reason I can reference it because I played it recently. And in Call of Duty competitive, you are limited to a certain selection of guns. You can't use all the guns, only certain guns. And you're limited on what attachments you can use. So they've cut out half the game to make the competitive work.
Gotcha.
So you have a full, complete casual experience having all the weapons accessible, but in competitive you have a small map pool, you have a small selection of game modes, and you have a small selection of weapons and kits. Okay. So it's more contained, so it feels almost like a different game.
Yeah. But then in the vein of Overwatch, that would kind of be either cutting characters or cutting abilities for competitive.
Or even in that way, they could have certain abilities have different properties, because they've done that in multiple game modes. There have been event game modes where they've changed abilities. Like Hanzo, the most recent Valentine's Day event, Hanzo used to have an ability called Scatter Arrow, So you would shoot it, and when it impacts, it would scatter like 8 little things from that position.
Yeah.
Well, if you would shoot at the ground, you would insta-kill a lot of characters. So, they took that away and gave him the Storm Arrow, which shoots 5 arrows rapidly. But for the event, they brought it back, but if you go play regular game mode, you still have the Storm Arrow. So we have 2 separate abilities in 2 different modes. Why not change things for the competitive mode and keep things casual? Or, better yet, you could do something that I don't know why they don't have kits. Have characters, have kits. Different abilities you can choose. Like, imagine you have Tracer who has the top, like every character would have constant abilities.
Yeah.
So Tracer would have the warp and the rewind. But, like, you could change other things about her kit. Like, maybe her guns. Instead of having 2 rapid-fire guns, she gets 1 gun that does a bit more damage but slower rate of fire. Change little things about the kits so that you don't have to rework a whole entire character and leave everything else in the dust.
Got you.
Like, Mercy...
So that'd be kind of similar to, like, for example, MKX's variation system.
Yeah.
Characters, you still have kind of your core stuff, but depending on what variation you choose, you have different kits to work with.
And then in competitive, you lock in single kits that, you want for the competitive version.
Got you. Okay.
And that would open up a whole lot more. Also, roles. You need to diversify the characters. And I've discussed this with many people, and many people think I'm stupid for saying the things I say. But I think there should be like 5 selections, 5 designations. And when you queue up, you pick 2 designations. So, like, you have tank, assault, and support in the current form as it is.
Yeah.
So most of the time you can flex and it'll pick you anything, but like half the roster's in damage. Half the roster's in assault. Like, I'm not even joking. I've counted. Like, literally half the roster is in 1 category.
Yeesh. Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't separate this a little bit more evenly? And all I get pushback is, well, how are you going to balance it all out? I'm like, well, obviously you're going to have to fucking work. Like, you have to work it out. They're a big development team. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Yeah.
They can figure it out.
They could have figured it out this PvE too, but
like, oh yeah. No. But like my thing was like, I was like, you can have like a category called like flank or something, and like that category would be characters that could easily get around the enemy team to deal damage and make picks. And like everybody's like, well, why would they do that? That all people are gonna do when they pick that category is just flank. I'm like, well, not necessarily. When I play fucking Mei on assault, I don't have to be aggressive. I can be defensive because she's got a defensive kit.
Yeah.
Like, all the characters have different abilities within their kit to do different things. So just because one category, like people think apparently if you have a word slapped onto something, you can only do that thing.
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb.
That's not the case. That's not the case at all.
And then like we could bring back defense, like take some characters from other classes that aren't exactly like heavy hitters in those classes and make them a different role.
Yeah, because then once you kind of rescatter and readjust everybody into a designated role, then you can repatch and rebuff or nerf according to that category that they're in and they're supposed to play, and still kind of have that freedom to do a different role.
Yeah, like a character like Winston could be a defense rather than a tank.
Yeah.
So he would still maintain his 300 health, but like his abilities maybe change a little bit to balance it around. His damage may not be as high. So you still have core Winston, but you have changes to make him not a tank.
I got you.
And the same thing for like Orisa could be a good defense rather than tank, because while Orisa's kit is really good, I feel like a lot of the time Orisa doesn't play tank. When I think tank, I think of a character that can be rallied behind, that can kind of take a lot of focus.
Yeah.
A big mark. Orisa does fill that role because Orisa does a lot of damage. But like when I think of tank, I think of like Reinhardt. I think of fucking Sigma.
Yeah.
Big dudes, big health pool. Dishes out damage, can take damage, and just kind of really control big area because they are the big man.
Yeah, because Orisa, from
like
the looks
Zarya,
of it, is just a tank because she is big.
Yeah.
And that's like
Zarya is a good tank because her whole kit is focus her, let her take damage, and then she puts on more damage.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. These are just my musings on the situation. I mean, play Overwatch, so a lot of it's coming from me. But something about the dev team. It's the Halo Infinite situation. These teams are just either they're not getting what they need to do what they need to do, or they're just completely having to swap their things around because of constant employee shifts or something. Like internally, these teams can do things, but they just aren't either getting what they need or just something behind the scenes is fucking everything up.
Yeah, usually from higher up input, being watched like a hawk to do something a certain way and not really be told that your vision, the way you want your game to be played, can be played like this because A, B, and C. That ruins a lot of shit in development.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt.
It's it just makes it to where, like, there's a hindrance on your development team, so there's going to be a hindrance on the game and how it's executed.
Yeah,
like,
so then nobody's happy.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how you ruin a franchise. And then developers never want to take a chance on new IPs. Well, if you're killing all the old IPs by doing stupid shit, what are you going to fucking do then?
They're going to continue to drive the old IPs into the ground until they're worth nothing, and then maybe try something new.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous.
It is.
It fucking makes me angry.
That's insane though, that they just was like, yeah, this thing that we've been promising, saying it's coming, fuck it. That's crazy. I'm surprised y'all even have people that still defend Overwatch.
I mean, at this point, the only thing keeping Overwatch afloat is. I think people know more of Overwatch through the porn than they do anything else.
I know I do. All right. Anyway.
What was our next topic?
Moving on.
Not quite the difficulty in games, although the difficulty with this podcast.
Yes, Tears of the Kingdom released recently.
Yeah, and I've heard nothing but good.
I've heard nothing but good too.
The only complaints I've heard is the fact that it's at 30 frames a second, which fair.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. But other than that, I've heard it's really good. I've heard the story is good. I've heard the gameplay is good. You know, outside of the frame issue, because I mean, I heard it drops to 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Eesh.
In some cases, which I mean, yeah, that's rough. I mean, I don't know if it's a situation where they could have optimized it better, or if it's a situation where literally the Switch is just they couldn't do everything they wanted within the confines of the hardware itself. You know?
Most likely that. I feel like, if anything, because Tears of the Kingdom was in development for a long ass time. And it's a really big game, and I feel like they might have tried to be. Yeah, 6 years. They might have tried stalling for a better hardware to work with, and it just kind of didn't get there yet.
I think we're definitely at a point where like Switch games are getting to a point where even the regular Switch can't run them. So like there's got to be a hardware refresh at some point.
Yeah.
Like there's just I really think we're on the cusp of having a new Nintendo like hardware like release,
which I'm looking forward to, because like I said, that is a shame that Tears of the Kingdom, as good as it is held back by frame rate a lot of time. Yeah. Because I mean, the game is gorgeous.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it still looks like Breath of the Wild, of course, because the same art style and everything, but it's gorgeous, and with all these expanded worlds and all this other type of stuff, with the caverns and the basic plains and sky islands.
There's an underground. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there is an underground.
Oh man. Okay. Wow.
No, the game is absolutely huge.
Oh wow. Man,
but with all that being said, though, again, it's held back by the frame rate and all this other type of stuff. Now, I've heard great things about the story. I think the things that I'm looking forward to the most whenever I play the game myself will be all the stuff that you can build, because Twitter is filled with things that you can build in the game, and Lord have mercy, Nintendo.
I have seen so much salt about the building in the game. So many people are like, this takes me out of the game. Like, why can't you do this? Like, I don't even want to play it anymore. This game's bad. It's like, literally because a dude built a dude with a fucking fire. Like,
he explodes.
Yeah. You're mad about it. Like, you can't handle it that much that it takes you out of the game.
Yeah.
Like, the deep lore of Zelda, the deep world of Zelda. It's a fucking creation mechanic.
Yeah.
Tons of games that have creation mechanics have deep lore. But, like, why is this one different? Like, fucking Minecraft, you know, there's hints of lore, especially now more recently, like, but you could still build a fucking dick in the middle of the goddamn area.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
that is...
Nobody has told you to go on Tears of the Kingdom and build a fire penis robot.
Yeah, like, just because you see it doesn't mean you have to do it. Like, it's such a stupid fucking argument. Such a dumb argument.
Well, there have been, to be fair, dumb arguments against this game for quite some time now. I think people are even more upset that the game
is getting good
released
reviews.
And is getting good reviews. And
I heard it got review bombed a little bit.
They tried it. They sure tried it, but it didn't work.
Damn.
No, this game has already sold 10 million copies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So they fucking tried it for sure, but
Game of the Year, probably.
Most likely.
Like, I doubt it's not going to win Game of the Year, because again, I've heard nothing but good. Like, everybody's talked about it, raving reviews. The only people that have talked bad about it are, like, fanboys from other consoles, pretty much. Or people who just don't like Zelda. Like, that's really it. And I'm like, if you don't like a series, why are you playing the game?
I mean, that's a valid point to make, at least in the sense of, like, why are you reviewing the series? Play a game to give it a shot if it piques your interest enough, but don't play a game eyes clouded by hate from the get because then you're just gonna become hard to please.
It's
in
like
any
Donkey.
regard.
Donkey, how he reviews games, like he hates RPGs, but he loves Persona 5 because Persona 5 has so much flair and personality that it kind of trumps the hatred that he has for the RPG mechanics.
Genres, yeah.
Like that's what you should be entering into a game with, even if it's a genre you don't particularly like.
Yeah. Find
games in that genre that you can find that kind of make the things you don't like about the genre still be fun.
Exactly. Like, I'm not going to be out here because I don't play horror games. I'm gonna boot up fucking Evil Within and then be like, this game is fucking ass cheeks because it scared the shit out of me.
Plays Five Nights at Freddy's. Why did he jump scare me? Yeah. It's a bad mechanic.
So why'd you jump scare me? Yeah. I'm supposed to win a game. Boo.
Fucking ridiculous. But no.
0 out of 6.
I definitely think Tears of the Kingdom looks really good. I want to get it.
Yeah.
I am going to try to get it here soon.
I gotta play Breath of the Wild first.
Yeah.
I won't hop into the sequel without playing Breath of the Wild.
But I've heard nothing but good. And the more that I hear about it, because people in my job too tell me that they've all got it and they're playing it. It looks great. It's fun. I'm like, awesome, man.
Yeah.
I can't afford
awesome, man. That's really swell for you.
Yeah, super cool, dude. I'm glad that things worked out for you.
I have rats chewing my toes. Can you fucking?
No. What is that analogy? I've never heard shit like that.
No.
But yeah, it's I think Tears of the Kingdom is going to be fantastic when I play it. And I hope that's soon rather than
later. No, nothing but happy to hear that the game has, especially a game that has been in development for so long and so much anticipated, that it met expectations. You love to see it out here.
Oh no, for sure. But Nintendo, give us new hardware, please, and give us an up-res for the game.
Oh, there's absolutely going to be an up-res for the game, especially if a new hardware bounce. Even if a new hardware is 2-3 years around the corner, they're gonna fucking bring Tears of the Kingdom up. Absolutely. I have no doubt about that.
So, with all that being said, I think we're going to tackle our big topic, and that's going to be the end of the podcast, because like I said, we have to do a shorter one today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because things worked out that way due to a lot of circumstances today. But hopefully it's still, good for you guys. Hopefully we've been I think we've been pretty concise so far.
Yeah, we've been on top. We've been potting.
We've been popping off too much in randomness. Yeah. But difficulties in video games. So, this is going to be one of our more generic topics, like music, content creation, other things we've done in the past, where we're just going to talk about a facet of gaming that we both have opinions on.
Gotcha.
So when I say difficulties in gaming, what do you specifically want to talk about? Like, because when I think difficulty in gaming, I think of how difficulty is done and how it should be approached. Because there's a lot of people who say that difficulty, you should have options in every video game, and I disagree 100%. Purely for the fact that difficulty can be developer intention. Difficulty can be related to the story, to the themes of the game. Difficulty can be tied to much more than numbers and accessibility, which I have a video that I want to arc on that I talk about accessibility in gaming.
Gotcha.
And why difficulty isn't an accessibility option.
No.
That's a hot take.
No, I actually agree. I agree to honestly pretty much 100% extent.
Okay.
I feel like difficulty, again, it comes down to the expression of what the developers want to entail. It comes down to the challenges they want to present and the things that a gamer wants to go through.
Yeah.
Again, especially when it comes to games that don't have the option of difficulty. Yeah. Nobody's putting a gun to your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nobody's telling you have to beat this. But at the same time, if you don't beat the game, you don't deserve. You don't. I'm sorry. Oh, I spent my money. It's like, yeah, you did. So either beat the game or trade it back in. I'm sorry, you don't deserve something just because you did something. Yeah. You don't deserve I don't know. I can't make an analogy. I was gonna make a food analogy, but I was like, no, man. If I go to McDonald's and get a shitty cheeseburger, I'm mad about it.
Yeah, I mean,
but a shitty cheeseburger is not equivalent to me being bad. Exactly. It's not like I bought the cheeseburger and then I couldn't eat it because I'm stupid.
That's what it boils down to in video games. I mean, kind of agreeing with that also goes against one of my strongest values a video game can have, which is options.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, like I said, difficulty depending on the game that you're playing, and its purpose strongly ties into what you get as a gamer from that game.
Yeah.
That's like, sometimes the difficulty is what it's about.
Yeah.
You know? That challenge to push yourself to do better, to learn from your mistakes, to execute faster, to all these things, learn mechanics, master this, master that.
Yeah.
That's when it's all important.
No, yeah, for sure.
Most video games like that. So, in regards to difficulty, as of late, in some newer video games,
Elden Ring was the big talking point.
Elden Ring was the big talking point. And in my opinion, Elden Ring had its difficult moments. Sure.
Yeah.
Certainly not a game that I would like brand and slap difficult though.
Oh no! It because of the nature of the open world allowed you to do anything, like go anywhere.
Yeah.
You could get to a point where like if you were really stuck on something, you could just kind of go off in a completely different direction, and by the time you come back, that area you were stuck in was pretty trivial.
Yeah.
Like,
and not only like do you find out that area was pretty trivial, you actually like, because you went off for so long and probably forgot that you were even in that area.
Yeah.
You go back and you're just like slapping stuff left, right, and center, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
So in terms of difficulty, for sure, Elden Ring, because of all the options that you do get in that game, not really too difficult.
I mean, when it comes to options in video games for difficulty, I find often, like for sure, there's a difficulty that the developer intends.
Yeah.
Every time. For like Halo, because that's just one thing we always have brought up in every podcast. Halo has Heroic. Heroic is the listed by the developer as the intended experience. You know?
Yeah, gotcha.
I think Veteran for Call of Duty is the intended experience. Or maybe not Veteran. Whatever, it's like Rookie, Recruit, something Veteran, or whatever. The third difficulty typically is the one that the developer intends to be the key form that you want to play the game in.
Yeah.
Because that's just what the developer balances around. And that's the thing I want to say, balance. So, a lot of argumentation against difficulty in video games is, oh, I work, I don't want to have to come home and stress about beating a video game. It's like,
then go play
why
Tetris.
are you stressing about it?
Then go play Tetris.
Why are you stressing about it? Is my question. Because the argumentation is that being difficult to beat isn't fun, and that's a straw man argument.
Mm-hmm.
I think is the term to use for this, because fun is a subjective term.
Pretty much.
And anybody can have fun in any regard. So to say that something isn't fun is too general of a statement for it to matter.
Yeah.
To really be relevant.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Quantum TV, hopefully he doesn't strike this. I know the man got arrested recently.
Oh, what?
That's something we talk about.
All right.
Podcast. I don't want to get fucking copyright strikes and bullshit. He's known to do it to small channels, so...
What, because you name dropped the man?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, that was his whole orientation. Like, oh, people who like this game are abuse victims because you're, getting beaten. It's like...
Oh, holy shit, what?
What? Yeah, that was why he really popped off. It was he was really talking dog shit about Elden Ring.
Wow.
And then everybody would, clap him back, and he was like, oh, these Elden Rings fans, you guys are abuse victims because you're, getting beaten. It's like, alright, dude, that's a... Projection.
That's a take.
It was projection, let me tell you.
Those are certainly words he said.
Maybe don't say things about people like that and then go beat your wife.
Okay. Okay.
That's facetious.
Yeah, that one right there.
A bit exaggeratory, but he did get a domestic charge.
Oh my goodness! Wow. All right.
Yeah.
He is wild.
But it's when there's an intended difficulty and you're given easier options.
Yeah.
The argumentation for a lot of people is I feel fine. I feel good with the difficulty I picked. It's like, that's great for you, but that doesn't make it correct.
Yeah.
That's the thing. People like to assume that, hey, because I enjoyed it, it's valid. Look, validity or not, just because you played a game a certain way doesn't mean you get to take the credit from somebody who beat it in a different way.
Exactly.
Speedrunning is a really big facet of gaming. And that's very skill based.
Yeah, one of my favorite facets of gaming, actually. I love watching speedruns.
To figure out the way the game works and how to abuse it to make things work in your favor is insane. It takes a lot of technical ability, technical know-how of the game itself. And a lot of people don't like it. It's like, oh, you just did this thing. It's like, whatever. It's like, it's not whatever. It's a technical skill. You don't have that skill.
Yeah, because they'd be fun to be like, yeah, he just did this thing, but then you're asking, like, how did he do it? Though?
Yeah, it's like,
it's just like, that's the part that you don't understand. That's the beauty of it.
If you can't do it, it's fine. If you can't beat a game on a higher difficulty, it's fine.
Yeah.
But you do not get to claim that you are just as good as somebody who did it in the more difficult fashion.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, that is the game is not the problem there.
It is you as a person.
It's you and how you're approaching things, most likely.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if you come into it like, okay, this game is difficult.
Yeah.
A lot of the time I see people who play these kind of games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
People just rush into shit. They're just doing shit. And when things don't work out the way they want them to, they get mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why don't you do this instead? They're like, well, this is right here. Why would I? Like, what?
Yeah, why should I do that?
Like the Tree Sentinel. A lot of reviewers came out like, oh, I boot the game up and I thought there's a dude on a horse and he fucking kills me.
There's a dude on a horse?
Then run around him, dumbass. It's
an
open world. You can go away. You do not have to engage.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like a common sense thing to me. Like, oh, this is a challenge that I'm not prepared for. Let me avoid it and come back to it later.
Oh man, let me tell you the whole thing about common sense. I've changed the saying now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, as I found out, common sense actually doesn't exist. At all.
Fair.
I've changed the word to implied sense.
Implied sense. Okay.
Because you would think that somebody in an open world who can run in 3D.
Yeah.
All 8 different directions and then some.
360 degrees of movement, baby.
Freedom to your name.
Yeah.
Would come up to this challenge, get their ass kicked so much that they're angry, and be like, oh, wait, I can go right. I can go left.
I don't have to go to him. I can go away.
I can go around. No,
like,
that's the video game reviewer for you. Let me tell you what.
And then everybody fought there immediately. White Mask.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, I walked up to him and I hit him and he fucking killed. It's like, maybe because he had a talk signature underneath him, he wasn't a hostile NPC.
No.
Well, how was I supposed to know? Because he didn't outwardly attack you.
No. He did flame your ass though.
Yeah.
Maidenless.
Maidenless hoes.
Yeah. No bitches.
Oh, that was a good round of memes. That was a great round of memes.
Yeah, but
no maidens?
Yeah, I really am kind of getting sick of the whole argument of difficulty makes a game bad or good.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, that's not the case.
And I hate the argument of accessibility, because accessibility is not how easy it is to do something. Accessibility is the fact that you can do it at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's accessible. Difficulty is not a part of accessibility.
Absolutely not.
Like, taxes are difficult, but anybody can do them.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have easy taxes. They don't.
It's
I'm sorry.
Base taxes.
You don't get to choose your tax difficulty option. It's not a thing.
Yeah, you get served your papers and get told to get fucked.
Yeah, you have to figure it out, bucko. Sorry.
No. Yeah, no, a game isn't better because, like, it's also, hand holding you either through dialogue or clues or anything like that, or different types of mechanics.
God of War had the if you couldn't solve the secret in, like, what was it, 30 seconds, the game would tell you what to do.
Yeah, Trey's what's up. Actually, funny enough, his VA talked about that, because his VA played through the game, and he was like, I used to fucking hate my voice, because I would just get to this task, start to solve it, and then 30 seconds later, I hear myself go, you have to push the lever over there, and he's like, fuck you. It's really bad.
And I get people like it because, I don't have to think about it. It's like, the game is telling you that you're stupid and that you aren't smart enough to do something yourself, and you're accepting that.
Yeah. Like, sorry, but you're kind of in the wrong medium if you want to entertain yourself and not think. That's what movies are for.
Yeah.
That's what movies, TV shows,
play
all that other type of stuff.
Play one of the Heavy Rain Detroit Become Human type games. Play Man and Madon or whatever the fucking...
No, because they'll claim that they have to press a button to progress.
I'm fucking
Yeah, no.
Go read a pick your own adventure book.
Your genre is definitely moved. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But in video games where you have to think, you have to use your skills, you have to assess all these other type of things that, require interaction because games require interaction.
Yeah.
And a game is good or not based on the interaction requirement, bullshit.
I feel like we need to designate games now. We need to have like easy, like instead of like ESRB, it's like this game has no difficulty.
Yeah,
and
new rating
we'll tell
system.
you how to play. And this game is a regular game. This one's for everybody else who's normal. This one's for people who can't fucking figure out how to throw your fucking rock at a circle. You can't put that together in your brain.
Yeah, okay, so we'll have the new rating system be EPLS, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and the opposite end of that will be just rated C, which is cheeks. You're gonna get clapped. Right? That'll let everybody know clearly.
Yeah. Well, it also just takes away, in my opinion, the sense of exploration, because people talk about how this world is deep and there's so much to it. Like in real life, you're not gonna have some fuck ass head to be like, brother, why don't you pull the lever over there? You're not gonna have that.
No,
he's not gonna be there.
Yeah, no, you're not even gonna have the guy that's in this like conveniently lit place to give you a quest and tell you what you need and what you need to bring and what's gonna be down the line there.
For everybody who wants realism in their game,
unless you're doing a drug deal, but continue. Real life quest.
For everybody who wants realism in games, the one thing people don't want to be realistic
is the difficulty.
Like, I don't get it, man. I don't.
And I mean, you could use games as an escape from reality, if you will. Do fuck whatever you want. I mean, you bought the product, and you play how you want to play.
You bought the product how you want to play. But, like,
don't really expect it to just kind of, if it's not that type of game.
Yeah.
In the first place.
I'm gonna make a game called Fuck You, and the whole game's just gonna kill you.
Yeah. If it's not that type of game in the first place, then why get upset whenever you get what you paid for?
Yeah, like, I can't believe when I bought my Hello Kitty video game, it was a Hello Kitty video game made for 5-year-olds. Like, I could have never foreseen this.
Yeah, I cannot believe that I went to GameStop to buy this fucking Forza Horizon game, and now it's just Shrek.
Okay, that's a bit different.
No. I was wanting Forza. No,
that's not how you can't buy Forza get Shrek. Like, I went into Walmart and I bought God of War, and I was expecting a just gore fest of destruction, nonstop aggression and anger, and what I got was a loving father taking care of his son and worrying about how his son is doing. Like. Like, it's
First of all, you can go to any place, buy anything, get Shrek, and you won. First of all. Second of all, no.
It's cognitive dissonance, I think, is the term that best describes. Like, it's you're wanting one thing, but going for the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, there's the dissonance of, like, I want a easy, chill experience. Let me buy fucking Dark Souls. Literally, the tagline for the game is, prepare to die.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think you want that, sir.
Like, it's like, but I mean, even then, like, my thing is, like, again, the whole thematic thing about difficulty. Like, Dark Souls' difficulty is thematic and relevant to the whole game outside of the game's difficulty, because it's a story about you are literally a guy going against demons, monsters, and gods, literal deities, and like, you are just a dude. You are nobody special.
Yeah.
You are whatever.
With a wooden shield and maybe a toothpick if he's lucky.
You are the guy who has to cobble together whatever skills he can gather to face these grander than life foes. Mm-hmm. And the whole point of, like, if you know the lore about Dark Souls, hollowing.
Yeah.
So hollowing only happens when you give up, when you lose purpose. Guess what the main theme of the game is? People who live forever don't become hollows unless they lose their purpose. You turn into a hollow the second you put the game down and say, I'm done playing. Because you lost your fucking purpose. But if you pursue and push through all the difficulty, you can complete the quest. You maintained yourself. Through all of the challenges, you didn't go hollow. You didn't give up.
Yeah, that shit
thematically, it fucking hits. Yeah. It hits, bro.
Maybe what the video game industry needs is another branch. Maybe we need gaming agents. You know how there's travel agents and all this other type of shit? Maybe we need to, like, have some people have a phone number to call and be like,
hey Jim, so look, man, I heard you were looking for a new game. And I was really I was really worried because your last experience didn't go so well. You didn't really have a good time. And I don't want you to waste your time this time. So as your agent, I really want to just let you know you can probably buy Animal Crossing. I think that's more your lane, buddy. I think you really enjoy it. I think it's probably a good gig for you. I think out of every option.
But I was looking at Doom. What are you gonna do?
No, look, you played Overwatch, and you played Splatoon. You played a lot of shooting games, and you tend to not enjoy those because you don't get kills. And I think your issue is you're not an aggressive guy. So I think
I'm plenty aggressive. Fuck you. I'll fuck your mom.
You see, that's what I'm talking about, buddy. That was kind of poor. I've heard worse from a 12-year-old in Call of Duty Xbox Live. I think really you just need go chill with Isabella for a few months. Call me back, tell you how you are, buddy.
Yeah. We need, especially for reviewers, we need gaming agents. We need people to sit down at these agencies and be like, hey, this game is coming out. Raise your hand if you have experience with these type of games. You actually enjoy them, and we'll give valid criticism.
No, yeah, what we need
and then, fucking sit down, Susie. I know you've been playing Candy Crush for 7 years. You haven't touched this shit. Don't you review it. Stop. You're making us look bad. All right?
Yeah. We should have journalism as a whole is just fucked. But we should definitely strive for gaming journalists who, and I cannot stress this enough, play video games.
Oh my god. What did you just say?
I said gaming journalists should be people who, I know this is a hard pill to swallow, but play video games.
You fucking bastard. How could you? I'll have you know that my dad at Nintendo.
I rate the video games. How many video games do you play daily? I play The Sims. I play Animal Crossing. I play Uncharted. I played The Last of Us.
That's where they pull these reviews from wherever. Hey, this new game dropped. What was the last game you played?
Gaming.
I have not touched a video game.
Gaming journalism.
Cool. Do you have any experience at all? I play chess. You're hired.
Gaming journalism is filled with journalists who couldn't be actual journalists, so they took whatever gig they could take.
Yeah.
It's just people who couldn't make it as right. It's like the teacher thing. They couldn't excel in the field that they wanted to go into, so they teach. They had to step down from something they wanted to do because they couldn't get that field. I'm sorry, but they changed careers.
Well, no.
That's just a fact. Or start your own. Start your own blog about whatever. It's not illegal. You can be a freelance journalist.
You can.
Why is that not a thing? I feel like freelance journalists would be a huge thing.
Well, that's kind of what YouTubers and their channels.
Yeah.
They review a game. That's what it is. They're freelance.
There should be a website for freelance journalistic news.
Yeah.
That I would go to that.
Yeah.
Fuck the Washington Post. Fuck whatever big name resources. Give me just a YouTube style website where instead of videos, it's all articles by freelance personal journalists. I would go to that website just for my news.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. Okay. That's the idea of the
difficulties into journalism and video games.
Yeah.
They kind of correlate. You want me to be honest, because a lot of people get driven away from video games because this reviewer said, it's too difficult. I couldn't get past the tutorial. I couldn't know I didn't know how to press a button long enough for me to reach where I needed to go. Fuck Christ, man!
Or he didn't realize he had to back up and instead he tried to jump up the wall. But no, another game I think does difficulty options well is a game like Ultra Kill, where the point of the game is to be stylish.
Mm-hmm.
Devil May Cry and Ultra Kill kind of nailed this kind of concept of it's fuck about the game.
Yeah.
Like Ultra Kill, you get a pistol that can be a long shot, then you have a coin flip. You can flip the coin, they shoot the coin, and it ricochets to enemies. They just added the ricochet pistol variant where you spin the gun and then you launch it and it just bounces 3 times off walls.
Funny.
Fucking shotgun, you can punch your shotgun bullet. You can shoot, immediately punch, and it makes it stronger.
That's wild.
You can ride a rocket like a skateboard. You can do so much in that game. It's just fun. And the difficulty at that point is how much health do the enemies take? Because your damage is the same regardless. How much damage do the enemies take? That is all Ultra Kill does damage-wise, which is what a lot of you want. They want just number differences, but the game itself doesn't change. You just have to do it longer.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. I don't even know how Ultra Kill stuff is actually calculated. Maybe it is you take more damage. I know hard damage is a thing that scales in the game. Because hard damage is when you do certain actions, your health bar can't recover to a certain point. So you have 100 base, and like say you do something like the grapple hook. If you grapple hook too much, you get hard damage.
Yeah.
So like your health won't go past whatever your hard damage is set to for a short time.
I feel like difficulty in video games, like a good difficulty system, either adds a mechanic that is manageable but not hindering, or take away maybe certain overpowered skills so you're not blowing through everything.
Yeah.
Like a game that added a mechanic that I can think of was the hero mode from Fast RMX, where you took damage from crashing into other cars or walls. Kind of like they made it basically F-Zero.
Yeah.
Your car has a health bar now.
Yeah.
You got to manage that. You can't overuse your boost because if it runs out, you're blowing up.
Yeah.
You know, all these other things, but it was still fair because it was based off of your knowledge and skill of the game existing already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a fair point. Adding new features to make the experience more difficult is a good option for difficulty.
Yeah, like I said, as long as they're not like ass-blowingly unfair. Unless that's what you want, and unless the game advertises that difficulty mode as
difficulty mode, one-hit death.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I mean, like Ultra Nightmare in Doom has the one life thing.
Yeah. Like
that's a good difficulty option. Like play through the game with one life. You know, at that point you've probably played the game enough to kind of understand. Because I mean, Ultra Nightmare is just nightmare mode. Yeah. But Ultra. So like if you play it's the same difficulty as Ultra, but like you just have the one life. So if you die, you lose the whole game.
Or Dead Space's most difficult mode, which is like no save. Like you don't have no saves.
Or Minecraft has hardcore mode. The second you die, you lose.
Yeah, you lose everything.
You lose the whole world.
You just gotta restart.
Those are good. That's a good idea for difficulty because like it forces you to learn a new mechanic. It forces you to like be more aware of a situation that you're already familiar with.
Pretty much.
That's a fair option for difficulty.
Absolutely.
Like the easiest difficulty could be, it's just base mechanics. The game's balanced around it, and then like the harder difficulties from there add extra features. Like maybe it's more enemy placement, like more enemies, new enemy placements. The mechanic you said that adds more feature. Like that's a good option. I think that should be what difficulty should be pushed for. Instead of solid damage numbers, it should be that.
Yeah.
Like.
That's a mode I can get behind. That's a mode
I feel that's fair. I 100% can endorse that. What I 100% can endorse is a dude playing Cuphead and not being able to jump over a fucking wall.
Yeah, that's mighty unreasonable.
Or dude who constantly rushes at a dude that's impossible to kill, and he's like, "This game is bullshit." When he could literally just 3 steps to the left, my guy, and you haven't aggroed him at all.
Yeah.
Christ, for a short podcast, I definitely feel like it's been a longer one.
Yeah, it's been longer, but we were shooting shit.
We were not
to the
rambling
points.
as much.
Is
the key.
Yeah, there we go. That's had a little bit more focused and concise.
We didn't shoot off into Pokemon like we did the last episode.
Came in the left field like a truck coon. The most powerful anime character.
All right, dude, more powerful than anybody. But let's kind of give our review, our kind of final thoughts on every topic. So, Mortal Kombat 11, I'm excited. You excited?
Yeah, no, it's looking
12.
Mortal Kombat 12, 1.
Whatever.
They're doing the Xbox thing.
Anyway. They went backwards.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I just wish that the teaser wasn't still basically just a teaser.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw character confirmations and looks of some characters, but nothing gameplay-wise or anything like that. I really wish they delved into at least a little bit of gameplay.
Yeah.
But we got what we got, and it still looks fine. It still looks great. Next one, Tears of the Kingdom. We're going to watch Overwatch, getting rid of, or canceling
the
PvE
after
campaigning for it and telling everybody it's coming for years and years and years.
This is what's going to kill the game, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't, I'll be surprised.
The game was already kind of hanging by a thread anyway, and this is about the scissors that opens. Yeah. Nah, and I actually, because I do, even though I don't play the games, I do enjoy the characters of Overwatch. I feel like they got a lot of really cool characters and a lot of really cool story lore implications, but now none of that is going to be cracked open.
If anything, make it a TV show. Drop the game, make it a show.
Maybe.
Like, honestly. Because that's what it felt like they want to do at the beginning of Overwatch. It felt like there was just so much cinematic for a multiplayer game that it felt like they really wanted to do something like story mode based.
Yeah. So
like, just make a movie, make a show.
Make a show.
That's kind of my thoughts on it. Just make a show. Make Overwatch the show at this point. Yeah, Arcane did it. And
Arcane did do it.
I feel like with the game, with the story of Overwatch and the characters, I feel like Overwatch would be a no-brainer as a show. So I'm surprised they haven't. And then Tears of the Kingdom, I'm excited.
Looks fantastic.
It looks good.
People say it's fantastic. Go play Tears of the Kingdom if you haven't.
Yeah.
Again, 10 million copies sold in 3 days. days.
In 3 days. Holy shit.
That's...
Man, there's not many games that do those numbers at
No,
all. Even
no.
established franchises.
The release was huge.
Jesus.
And like I said, I'm nothing but happy for it.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's great.
And then difficulty in video games. Reviewers should stop playing video games.
Yeah.
More of us should review video games.
We need more gamers reviewing games. We need less reviewers playing games. We need
more people understanding what game they're buying, because for
Yes.
some reason it's a problem whenever they buy something that they didn't look at.
There's a back of the box on every video game. Okay, I'm about to break a lot of minds. I'm
Go ahead.
about to shatter a lot of psyches.
I can't
All
wait.
right, it's gonna be like every time an anime character, like, their brain gets exploded, the shattering.
Yeah.
On the back of the box, the game tells you what it's about.
Oh my god, you're so big brain. I never realized this.
Fucking Christ.
I never realized.
And when you buy it online, because I know online you don't have a back of box, there's a description
Right under the title.
and it tells you what the game's about. And there are pictures and videos of the game.
You won't believe it.
And YouTube. You can Google it.
Yeah. You can even wait. You don't have to pre-order the game.
Yeah.
Nobody's telling you to do that.
Nobody
can wait.
told you.
You can wait to look at other people's
But
reviews
if I
and
don't
thoughts.
pre-order the game, how can I get my favorite sticker pack?
Oh.
How can I get the limited edition paper poster from GameStop that is literally just the box art on a piece of paper?
I promise you it's going to be on eBay, like, release. Don't worry about
But I want it for free.
You're not getting it for free. Trust me. You already paid for the product.
No, definitely. I feel like it's just a lack of information seeking and a lack of being open to doing things differently than just rushing into it. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we're gonna cut the episode here. I think we've probably hit about an hour, if not an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, a typical episode. Not too short, but not 2
Not
hours.
too long, yeah.
So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying still. I mean, we've been getting a few likes, and I think we've been getting more views as of late. But
Lovely,
yeah,
thank y'all.
honestly, and when we move into the new channel, hope you guys can follow and move over there as well, so you don't miss the episodes going forward. Which I'm hoping is next session. Hoping. We don't know solid date, but we're shooting for next section.
Yeah.
Next session.
Next section.
Okay. But we're gonna cut here. So I am your host, ShloobGoob, with my co-host
AltimateAngelo.
Thank you guys for watching, and this has been the GamerDad podcast. We're out.
Have a good one, y'all.
Love you all.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Want to hear me break my neck?